right? Video's a few years old. Since then, the number of kids fostered by Peter Mutabazi has grown to nearly 50, and he's adopted 3. He went from having nothing as a kid to giving children everything that he has. And if you noticed in Peter's own narrative, there was a stranger who made all the difference to him. And maybe that is why he has decided to be so familiar to so many. And he joins us now. Pete, what an honor to meet you, and thank you so much for being the example that you are to people in this country about what people who are immigrants are about.
Well, Chris, thank you for having me here. Truly a joy to join you this evening.
Peter, when you talk about the stranger who you came upon when you were out trying to find your way on your own, what do you want to tell us about that person and what you think motivated them to put you in school instead of in jail?
Well, absolutely. As street kids, we had to survive by stealing. So I followed him because he had bought food and I wanted to steal from him. And he did something really unique that nobody had ever done. He said, "Hey, what's your name?" He didn't say, "Go away." He didn't say, "You thief." He just said, "What's your name?" And that rattled me because no one human being had ever called me or asked me what my name was. And that was really unique. And he fed me. And one day he said, "Hey, if you had an opportunity to go to school, would you love to go to school?" And I said, "No, I don't want to go to school," because I didn't feel I was worthy. I'd been treated like an animal. My dad said I would never amount to anything, and I believe that. But this man saw the best in me when nobody saw that to me, and that's really what inspired me to go to school.
So you wound up moving here at the age of 27. You started fostering kids at the age of 40. That's young. What made you, as a single guy, decide to start fostering kids? Do you remember a moment that was directional for you?
Yes. I think for me, when I had the number of children in foster care, and I thought, I'm an American now. Like I have to do something. I have to give back, but also that I had to treat others just like that stranger saw the best in me. He didn't see the behavior. He didn't see the bad childhood family I came from, but he saw a little boy with potential, and I wanted to do the same for kids in foster care. Just hearing the number and knowing there are kids in our neighborhood that no place to sleep or nothing to eat. I could not just look the other way. So I decided, I said, you know what? I'm going to step up and do the best I can just to do just like someone did for me.
So did you go into it thinking each one help one? Or did you go into it saying, I'm going to just get as many kids as I can and how do you afford it?
Well, as a single dad, I didn't know they would allow me to be a foster parent because I had never seen a single dad who was doing so, and I had traveled over the world and never seen a Black person who was adopting. So I thought I am disqualified by just where I come from and what I looked like. But little did I know that the social worker who received me, I said I can mentor. He said, "Have you ever thought of being a foster dad?" I was like, "I'm not sure I'm qualified." And she said, "Why?" I said, "I'm single." She said, "No, you can be." So for me, I signed up to foster one child. That's what I thought they allowed me, but also that's what I thought how far I could go. Little did I know that truly I would have as many as almost 50 that have come through my family.
And you've adopted 3. What have you seen in what makes the difference with these kids in terms of the outcomes?
Look, no child is born and decides to be in foster care. Sometimes they come in through the horror that has gone through their family. And for me, the best that I've done is to create a space. My job is not take away their trauma, but create a space where they feel they can thrive, where they feel they can overcome what they've gone through, but also where they feel they're seen, heard, and loved in some way. And that's what I offer to to every child who comes to my home, but also to try to really help the bio parents. It's easy to see them as villains, but for me, I get to see them as parents, sometimes who have no resource or no one has come alongside to say, how can we help? You're struggling or you're suffering through drugs, and how do we give you resource to overcome that so you can have your children? And I thought I can be the bridge between providing a safe place for the children, but also really advocating for their parents as well.
Peter, it's beautiful. You are what I call an American. as opposed to an Americant. Somebody who is trying to show the positive potential of this country. And it matters to me that you're an immigrant, because people see immigrants these days as just takers. And you are given back many times over. So thank you very much for being the example you are. If there's anything I can do to help you do the work you're doing, I'm a call away.
Please, please. We need. I need to take in 2 more kids. So if you find an SUV that can take 9, yeah, give me a call. Please, give me a call.
Done. I'll call you right after the show. Peter Mutabazi, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here.
All right. I'll find out if, Pete, if you have like some kind of GoFundMe or something like that set up to try to raise money for what he's trying to do, I'll make sure that we put it out on social media. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.